Rob Bob here is the soft-spoken creator of Epic Cupcake Time, Epic Pie Time, Epic Wub Time, and other such animations, especially Escape from Equestria. Yeah. He was the voice of Twilight in that. If anybody's seen that, you know, I'm going to give you plot holes a chance. Can you give him that example? Come on, Rob.
I thought we can't use that word.
You can go for it.
I'm going to give you plot holes a chance.
Maybe speak up a little bit. They can't hear you.
Well, basically, who here has seen Escape from L.A.? Kurt Russell, you know, mid-'90s? I guess I was throwing some ideas around with some people, and my animator, Evan, he lives in Australia. He couldn't be here, sadly, but he's amazingly talented and amazing, really nice, great guy. And so we were just kind of joking around one day, and we're like, you know what we should do? There's this part in Escape from...
Speak into it.
Yeah, there's this part from Escape from L.A. where Kurt Russell basically has these bad guys surrounding him. So he's like, who wants to play some Bangkok rules? And like he picks up a random can. So the thing is, you throw up the can, and when it hits the ground, everybody shoots each other. So instead, he throws the can, he just shoots everybody. Yep. So what we did was instead we switched it because the future Twilight, everybody is like, oh, he's Solid Snake, and
speak up. You're gonna have to yell it, man.
All right, I guess I need to yell this then.
Louder!
All right, so the way it works is that Twilight, you know, she has the eye patch in that future episode. So everybody's like, oh, you know, it's Solid Snake, oh my God. But at the same time, other people think it's Kurt Russell from Escape from New York, Escape from L.A. So what we did was we put her in that scene, and we basically switched her voice. So she starts off with a Twilight Sparkle voice, and then she just switches to it. So it's basically just a parody of that scene, except for it's Twilight Sparkle instead of Kurt Russell.
Okay, I don't think they heard your impression
earlier. Is there a way to
earlier.
increase the sound of this mic? All right, how about this? Does this sound better?
There we go. You just have to eat the microphone, man.
I don't want to eat mic.
You need to eat the microphone.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So,
who wants Rob to eat the microphone?
What is this?
The fans have spoken.
Concert. All right,
do it for great justice.
Well, what would everybody like to know?
What
would you like to see a preview of our next coming animation? All right, for this one, I decided to do something a little bit different. Is anybody here familiar with a certain cartoon show from the early 2000s called Jackie Chan Adventures? Well, Rachel, could you play the clip?
Okay, they're resetting the projector, but you know, way back in December and around then, I interviewed Rob on Everfree Radio, and we've been talking since. And you know, and when he first told me about this idea, I just laughed my head off because, yeah, I love that show personally. And so this is like, I'm really excited that he's actually going to do this because, you know, that show, it's really underappreciated. I think if you haven't seen Jackie Chan Adventures, it's got a lot of great framework. It's got Jackie Chan literally at the end of every episode talking about his favorite color or his, you know, favorite exercise routine or whatever. And then, you know, it's so anyway, do we have the projector ready to go?
It says Uncle Equestria.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Here goes.
Oh, secret cookie stash, how I love you so.
Spike, what are you doing?
Rob, why don't you tell these guys what it takes to get from just the idea of putting Uncle in Equestria? It's so awesome.
Okay,
and what it took to get from the idea to, maybe talk about a little bit about the storyboarding process, the music, to give these guys an idea of what it took.
Okay, so it kind of started off as a crack idea I got in the shower one day because I've been watching a lot of Jackie Chan Adventures, and maybe people have different opinions, but I think Uncle's the best character in Jackie Chan Adventures by far. So he's like this eccentric old man, and I'm like, wait a second. So what would happen if he ended up in Equestria and they needed to try to figure out a way to get out? So he thinks that somehow he turned everybody into ponies, but he didn't. So he's there trying to figure out how to fix everything, and basically Twilight Sparkle has to deal with all the BS he's doing the entire time. And she's like, why do I have to deal with this? And so it's kind of this just weird story of him there trying to figure out how to fix things, and basically all the other ponies having to deal with him being Uncle. So actually, he's right here. The storyboard were done by the artist Makan. He's also a really great musician. He actually composed the background composition that maybe you guys did or did not hear over the background noise. But give it up for Makan. He just amazing storyboard. Rachel, if you actually kind of go through some of them. So what we did was we basically started with just some rough concepts of what would happen. So we started off like a kind of spooky nighttime scene. You see Spike sneaking around. He kind of goes there. We originally had him with pajamas to try to make him look like, oh, look at Spike. He's at night. He's so adorable. But that kind of got cut out for time. We might do that later. So the way it works is we wanted to really mess with kind of lighting and stuff like that. Try to go for... I like throwing curveballs. So everybody's like, oh, we just did epic wub time with all this dubstep. What, they're going to have more vinyl. And I'm like, what if I did something nobody expected ever? So I basically kind of came up with this idea because, a lot of the musicians, Mike the Microphone, Tombstone, a bunch of them were talking about Jackie Chan Adventures about the same time I came up with this idea. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw everything to the wind and just say, I'm going to try to do a crossover between Jackie Chan Adventures and My Little Pony and see what happens. So we kind of have these different shots of, just roughed out shots of, thunder flashes and Uncle, Spike being scared. He's like, what? Drops the cookie. They both start screaming at the reaction of each other. And then we kind of cut to the opening screen. There's actually some later, I'll go into a little bit more detail of what you can expect. There should be some more after this. So basically, the opening shot afterwards would be kind of Pinkie Pie coming into Twilight shop, which is now in a 1 week been turned into a Chinese trinket shop. No explanation, just Uncle's turned into his laboratory, as you can kind of see in the shot. So he's kind of doing there. He thinks Twilight Sparkle's Jackie Chan, so he keeps calling her, Jackie, one more thing. And Twilight's like, why is this happening? Why do you keep calling me Jackie? And so she's just like, coming, Uncle. And there's some more after that. I guess I didn't put in, but. It's going to be this kind of, he thinks that, Spike is Jade, and he thinks Twilight's Jackie, and he's just kind of caught in this situation where he thinks all the other ponies are the people, so he's trying to change it around, and they're just like, what is this old man we've never seen before talking about? And, he starts swatting at Rainbow Dash when she, calls him an old man. He's like, respect your elders!
Well, and real quick here, when Rob first talked about this idea with me, he goes, Draft, do you think anybody is going to get this? Do you think anybody's going to like this? Can we get, some fan, enthusiasm here? Do you guys want to see this done? Because I think I do.
This is the question.
Do you hear them, Rob?
I hear them.
Do you hear them? Will you finish this?
I will definitely. Well, we're already started. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of August for sure.
Now, I should mention as well, Rob here works with a lot of voice actors, and is actually, in a lot of ways, the guy to talk to if you ever want a fan voice actor with a project. He's helped Everfree Radio out many times. He's helped some of our programs out. Some of the voice actors he's worked with are actually here. I see Noah King in the...
Give it up for Noah King. She's Vinyl Scratch. She's a Vinyl Scratch in Epic Wub Time. And Kaylin is Applejack from Epic Pie Time and Epic Cupcake Time.
I know you've worked with Erica.
And, obviously you guys have also met Bree and Rena. They've been in some stuff, too.
Yep. So, no, I think it's incredible what you've been able to do with, the just various fans who have certain talents. I know you've worked with Mando Pony in the past, not just on music, but also on artwork.
Yeah, Mando's actually done storyboarding for Epic Pie Time when we first did it. And me and him actually worked together a lot to kind of throw ideas around, so that's how we kind of came up with Epic Wub Time. Me and him just kind of threw ideas around, kind of came up with it. He did the storyboards, which actually, I'm not sure if it's like every musician, but like Makan's amazing, and Mando's really good at drawing too.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is. It's just like some of these guys just have way too much talent.
Like ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Mando is a mutual friend of ours as well. I mean, and it's just hilarious to hear their band. If you guys want to know where Rob's funniness comes from, it's just from constant banter at all times.
Well, I try my best.
Rob, why is it that there are so many communists in America?
I have no idea, but they're everywhere.
Inside joke, had to do that. And actually, I did want to give a shout out to Mando. He's in Vancouver right now.
Everybody give a shout out to Mando Pony.
Yeah, hi Mando Pony. I also, just to be shameless, and I know she's going to strangle me later, Sibsy sent me a text just a few minutes ago, so hi Sibsy. You're a real storyboarder. So anyway. Well, so I then wanted to now move on